Welcome one, welcome all to the Iron House Pick Show, Week 6 NFL edition. We ain't gonna waste a whole lot of time. The preliminaries, just please like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna get right into the meat and potatoes. First game on the card, Giants, Eagles. Eagles going to the Meadowlands after coming off a terrible loss to the Broncos. They were in sole control most of that game. Fourth quarter came and it was just an absolute collapse. Don't know what happened. Giants go down to the Dome in New Orleans, and they were in control for a while there, and then shit hit the fan for them as well. Spread on this game is 7.5. Total is 39.5. I tell you what, the Eagles they had a meeting, it was a 3-man meeting apparently for hours. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley. I'm convinced that Saquon put the meeting together. When you hear stuff like that, it makes you kind of think, okay, they about to get the ball rolling here. Their offense hasn't put together a complete game yet. Their defense has really been playing their guts out. I like the Eagles on this one, man. Like the Eagles -7.5. The Giants to me are just an absolute trash fire. I don't care who's at quarterback. Their defensive line is stout. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. The Eagles has got too much talent. Like I said, they got in that meeting. I think they discussed some things, and I think they're ready to, hit the ground running. And what an opponent to do it with. Great bounce back spot for the Eagles. Like I said, the Giants are terrible at 1-4. Eagles been doing their thing all season. They should have been 5-0. But hey, it happens. Little bump in the road, so to speak. It's hard to go all 17 and win them all. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, give me the Eagles in this one -7.5. Next game on the card, Broncos, Jets, across the pond in London. Broncos are a 6.5-point favorite. Total on this one is 43.5. Look, man, excuse me. The Jets are a different kind of trash. They're a different kind of garbage, man. The mental errors that their team has is just insanely ridiculous. Okay? Their offensive line is terrible. Their defense is also awful. Now, they can run the ball. Breece Hall's been doing his thing. But my God, I mean, the way these guys lose is incredible. And there's usually one team in the league like that every season, and it's the Jets. Like I said last week, I really think the Jets got a good possibility of going winless, man. Their division is looking much better than previous seasons. We could possibly see the first 0-17 team in NFL history. Give me the Broncos here. The Broncos, they beat my team last week. Real good win. It was really an Eagles game to lose, but we're not going to dwell on that. The Broncos, though, are a really good team. Do a lot of blitzes. They get a lot of sacks. Their secondary is stout. Bo Nix is coming along just fine. Looks pretty good. Cortland Sutton is amazing. I like the Broncos, man. -6.5. Not going to complicate this more than it should be. So yeah, Denver -6.5. Next game on the card, Cardinals at Colts. Indy going off as a 7.5-point favorite. Total in this one is 46.5. Now, I don't know how true this is. I read somewhere that Kyler Murray is questionable, which might be why the spread is so high. But nevertheless, the Cardinals lost a terrible game last week. They lost in just ridiculous fashion. DeMarcado breaks off a long run. At this time they're up 21-6. DeMarcado breaks off a long run, and he turned on the Jets. He's gone. He starts slowing down towards the goal line, and I don't know what it is with these young guys not crossing the plane with the ball. He didn't do so. Ends up dropping the ball before he scores a touchdown. And and that's really all she wrote, because after that, it was a complete unraveling of the Cardinals. They should have been up 28-6, cruise to a victory, but it didn't happen. Now they got to go to Indianapolis and take on a Indianapolis Colts team who is just absolutely on fire. Jonathan Taylor is balling. Daniel Jones is balling. That defense is balling. All aspects of the Colts look to be in tip-top shape. And I just don't see how the Cardinals are going to go to Indianapolis and win, especially if Kyler Murray is questionable. Give me the Colts to cover here by 2 scores, man. I like the Colts to cover this 7.5. I don't think this game is going to be particularly close. But yeah, Colts minus 7.5. Next game on the card, Chargers going to Miami. Chargers are 3.5-point favorite. Total in this game is 42.5. The Dolphins are awful. That's just the fact of the matter. They're a terrible team. The Chargers have dropped 2 straight. Herbert was balling the first 3 games, but it's just my old feelings of Herbert are starting to creep up again. I don't think it's going to matter here. The Dolphins are trash. They are. They're really, really bad. Tyreek's gone, possibly forever. They do still have some great speed on that offense, but the defense is bad, and the Chargers' defense is not. So we should see more. This spread's actually kind of low. Maybe because they're on the road, and it is hot down there in Miami this time of year. But still, I like the Chargers minus 3.5. I just don't see how the Dolphins keep up. I really don't. So give me Los Angeles, the Bolts, minus 3.5. Next game on the card, Patriots at Saints. New England going off as a 3.5-point favorite. Total on this one is 45.5. Not going to complicate this. Do a little talking about the game though. Patriots to cover this. The Saints are another awful team. They did get a good win last week against the Giants, but it is the Giants. The Pats, however, man, I had Buffalo last week. Well, I didn't bet the game. I didn't bet the game last week. Did a little parlay, with some props and things of that nature. But I did not bet this game only because that game, Buffalo New England, because I didn't know how it was going to go. New England came into Buffalo where it is extremely hard to win it. Extremely hard. And they pulled it out. The defense looked good. Drake May looked absolutely phenomenal. It was an absolute clinic on how to beat the Bills. Patriots were giving it to them every way they could take it. Phenomenal performance by New England. I like New England in this one. Minus 3.5, like I said, not going to complicate this. Even on the back-to-back road games. I like New England here. Patriots, minus 3.5. Next game on the card. Browns at Steelers. Flacco is gone. Now it's Dylan Gabriel up to bat. Dylan Gabriel didn't look that bad last week. I will say that. Still waiting on that Shador though, But I would like to see both guys do good. I'm saying I'm no hater. You know what I mean? But I would like to see both guys do good. 6.5 in favor of Pittsburgh. Total of this is 38.5. I do got the Steelers in this. Aaron Rodgers is out of his mind right now. He's doing his thing. Steelers get a early bye and all that good stuff, so they get to rest up. But I like the Steelers this, man. I like the Steelers. Browns, back-to-back road games for a team that is not a very good team. Could be some problems here. Just came all the way back from across the pond. Now they got to go into a hostile environment, being Pittsburgh, in a rivalry game with a rookie quarterback and not a very stout offense. They do have a good running game. Judkins is he's all of it. Their defense is absolutely stout, but it also could turn into one of those things where defense is probably going to be on the field a little too long. Pittsburgh should pull away here, mid third quarter to maybe early fourth. We'll start to see Pittsburgh getting some separation on Cleveland. So give me Pittsburgh -6.5. Next game on the card. Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Going to Carolina. Dallas is a 3.5 point favorite in this game. Total on this one is 49.5. Dallas last week put a shellacking on the Jets. Absolute shellacking. And that's exactly what they were supposed to do. They took care of business. Panthers are up and down, back and forth. I don't know what to think of Carolina. They get a good win though. Dolphins pretty much were in control of that game, and the Panthers just came back and did their thing. I like Dallas though, -3.5. Panthers are just too inconsistent. I think Dallas is finally catching their stride. Their defense looked good last week. I mean, look, it was against the Jets, but hey, they're making progress, and that's what you want to see with a young defense. It doesn't really have a whole lot of stars on it. As we all know, Micah Parsons is out of the building, and their defense last week gave themselves a boost by performing well. And I think that is going to continue for the Cowboys. Now, I do not like the Cowboys by any stretch of the imagination, but it is good to see them back in the fold in the NFC East because I get the, I want the Eagles to win the division. I don't want them to roll over the division. Though it's no fun watching games like that. So I'm glad Dallas is back in the fold. How long will it last? I don't know. I don't know how long it will last, but hey, it's just good to see it, even if it is a temporary thing. So give me Dallas -3.5 on the road. Next game on the card. Seahawks traveling all the way across the country from corner to corner to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Spread on this game is Jacksonville -1.5. Total on this 47.5. Look at here. Both teams are playing pretty lights out. Seahawks got into a shootout last week with the Bucks. I had the Bucks +3.5. I didn't think the Bucks would win the game because going into Seattle and winning, especially when they're good and you got that 12th man involved, is a very, very difficult task. So I didn't think they would pull it out, but they did. So kudos to the Bucks for that. But the Seahawks played a phenomenal game offensively. Does that continue in Jacksonville? I don't know. Jacksonville coming off a very fantastic win against Kansas City. I also had Jacksonville +3.5 in that contest as well, and they pulled it out, came through. Looked phenomenal. Trevor Lawrence, man. I mean, however he could get it, he was getting it. Talking about wanting to win, man. He looked good. The Jags defense is also they're a young group, but they're very talented. Going down there at this time, though, for the Seahawks, it's not really a good spot, especially coming off a loss like they did last week. You know what I'm saying? Kind of might bruise the ego a little bit, losing at home like that. And you got to go to Jacksonville at 1:00 p.m. and play in the hot-ass sun. It's going to be cooking down there, Jack. Tall order for the Seahawks. Give me Jacksonville -1.5. Jacksonville to get the job done. Next game on the card. Rams at the beat up Ravens. Man, good grief. The Ravens, they died a terrible death last week, didn't they? Good God, they died an awful death last week. I tell you what, 7.5 is the spread in this game. 45.5 is the total. It does not appear to be, you know, well, I would say it appears to be that this spread is a little bit too large, but I don't think so. The Ravens have no Lamar. They can't play defense. Derrick Henry is a good running back, but you see the difference when Lamar is not in there, man. I'll tell you what. Give me the Rams, man. -7.5. The Rams came off a very disappointing loss at home. They had a bit of an extended week because they played last Thursday. So they're a little bit more rested than the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens just got absolutely bludgeoned. Absolutely bludgeoned last week. Give me the Rams here, man. -7.5. I'm laying them all. I'm laying them all. I just can't trust that Ravens defense. Without no Lamar Jackson, I don't know how the Ravens get points. Simple as that. Give me the Rams, -7.5. Next game on the card. Titans. The lowly Titans at the lowly Raiders. Spread on this game is 4.5. Total in this game is 41.5. Now, I said last week during my Raiders and Colts prediction that Geno Smith would throw 2 interceptions. And I said you should take that on a prop bet. You should take that on a prop bet. I hope y'all listened, because that's exactly what he went out there and did. Guy did a belly flop. 2 picks, no touchdowns. It was an awful performance. The Colts rolled. The Raiders are still, they're just, I want the Raiders, I want to see the Raiders do good, man. I do. All of those teams that haven't been great in a long time, like, I mean, it's really been like 2 decades since the Raiders been a viable opponent. This is ridiculous. You should have took the Geno with the 2 picks, and you didn't. And if you didn't, I hope you did. Anywho, if that even makes sense. But anywho, this is the Titans, however, though. Cam Ward, you know, he did his thing last week in comeback fashion after there was a complete undoing by the Cardinals offense. The Titans took advantage, and that's exactly what we're supposed to do in those kind of situations. 4.5, though, I don't buy that the Titans even smell another victory this season. I don't want to go there and say that, but they're just a really, really bad team. They are. They lucked up last week. The Raiders do have some experienced players on offense, and even though Geno is an absolute turnover machine, the fact of the matter is he's a veteran. He's a veteran. And I look for him to be successful against a very, very poor Tennessee defense. So give me the Raiders -4.5 in Las Vegas. Next game on the card. Bengals at Packers. Spread on this game is 14.5 in favor of Green Bay. Total on this one is 44.5. 14.5 is juicy. It's a lot. It is a lot, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, dog. I'm not going to do it because there's way too many points. I'm taking Cincinnati, man. They got Joe Flacco. I don't even know if Flacco's going to play. I don't even know if it's going to matter because Flacco's a statue. To be honest, I think they should let the young boy Browning stay in and you know, continue to get himself acclimated to the offense. I think if they put Flacco in there, I think they're going to be worse off because that line is terrible. The Bengals' offensive line is awful, and Joe Flacco, for the little bit of running that he does at his very old age, he's going to be running for his life. If Flacco plays, it's going to be a lot of sacks for whoever he's playing against, especially a team like Green Bay. But like I said, I don't think Flacco's going to play this week because, you know, maybe they implement a short playbook for him if he does play. But I just don't see it. And 14.5 points, to be honest, is just way too much. Green Bay, honestly, their defense is not what we thought it would be with Micah in the fold. Does he add another, I don't know, 5, 6 sacks than the guy they traded to get him. Probably so. But I don't, like I said, I don't think it's really going to matter here. I think the Bengals can actually put up some points in this contest. I don't give a damn who the quarterback is. The total 44.5 looks doable, and I think they cracked that. I think they definitely cracked that. The Packers are going to score. There's no doubt about that. The Packers are definitely going to put up points in this contest because, like I said, the Bengals defense is awful. That's just the facts. They're terrible. So if Cincinnati can contribute in any kind of way here, and you see them kind of come alive last week late in that Lions game, if they can contribute, hey, that total's going to get cracked. So I'll probably double parlay this, man. You know what I'm saying? 2 ways, man. I would probably take Cincinnati plus 14.5, and I'll take the total to go over 44.5. Easy as pie. Next game on the card. 49ers going to Tampa. Another cross-country trip. Excuse me. Tampa Bay going off as a 2.5-point favorite. Total on this one is 47.5. I like the Bucks in this one. San Fran had a really, really, really good win last week in LA. But going to Tampa Bay, man, and that hot heat, it's different. It's a different breed, man. It's different kind of football you got to play down there in that sun, man. And only the really, really good teams make it out of there. And not to say that the Niners aren't a good team, because Mac Jones is really starting to come around. He's balling. He's doing his thing right now. But Baker, man, is on a tear. He is on a tear. I think the Niners defense is in for a rude awakening going down here to Tampa, and I think Tampa wins this game by a lot more than 2.5. I look for the Niners to keep it close for a while, but once that sun starts wearing on that defense, man, it could get ugly for the Niners. It really could. So give me Tampa Bay minus 2.5. Not going to touch the total in this one. It's a little bit too high for my liking, even though Tampa Bay really can put up points. The question is, can the Niners do the same going down there in a hot Tampa sun? That's the question. But give me Tampa Bay minus 2.5. Next game on the card, Sunday Night Football, possibly the game of the week. Possibly. Lions at Chiefs. Kansas City going off as a 2.5-point favorite. Total on this one is 52.5. Man, I tell you what. The Lions last week were they were really never at risk of losing that game. I don't feel like. But they did give us some late points to Cincinnati. The Chiefs finally found their offense, so that's a good thing. They're kind of looking like the Chiefs of old. Would they get Rashee Rice back this week? So got some good receivers in the fold. Their running game is really still kind of average. I like Detroit in this one on the money line. I like Detroit to go into Kansas City and win this game. Win this game for a multitude of reasons. They got two running backs, a thunder and lightning combo. Jared Goff is playing extremely well. The receivers on the Lions are absolutely phenomenal. Laporta is a really, really good tight end. Their defense, although they didn't show it late last week, is actually pretty good. So I just don't know if the Chiefs have enough to beat the Lions at all. So this is probably the still of the week for me, is Detroit on the money line. So I'll run with that plus money here, man. I like this a lot. So, like I said, Detroit plus 2.5 or Detroit on the money line. And that total 52.5, that's a little steep. But both of these teams can put it up. So don't be surprised to see some fireworks in this game if you want to get it on that total. Me personally, I am not going to touch it. I will just take Detroit to win this game outright. Next game on the card. Bills at Falcons. Monday nighter, the early ones. 2 Monday night games this week. The one is 7:15 p.m. in Atlanta. The Bills are a 4.5-point favorite. Total on this one is 50.5. Look, Bills came off a really, really tough loss last week. They were really never in control of that game. I felt like it was a lot of back and forth type thing, but nobody really ever had sole control of that game. The Patriots really stuck it to the Bills, if you will. And then the week before that, when the Bills had that big spread against New Orleans, they honestly didn't look that good. They did hit their team total, which was good for me that week, but they didn't look that good. I thought they should have, gave the Saints a little bit more than they did. But I mean, it's just like I said, they were probably trying to fine tune some things for their matchup against the Pats and other teams down the road. But this game could be a little different. I don't know what Atlanta is. Atlanta is a very inconsistent group. I do like Michael Penix, and I love Bijan Robinson. The boy can ball. There's no doubt about that. But honestly, I think the Bills just have too much. I think they have way too much for Atlanta to compete with. So even at home, I think Atlanta loses this game pretty convincingly. Give me Buffalo minus 4.5. Next game on the card, which happens to be the last game on the card. Bears at Commanders. Washington going off as 4.5-point favorite. Total on this one's 49.5. Look, this is going to be the rematch of last year with the Hail Mary throw. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The Bears, though, somehow when the games that they do win, they just find ways to win. They're a scrappy bunch. I like Caleb Williams a lot. But Jaden Daniels is back. And they held it down against the Chargers last week. They went out there and got a really, really good road win. Now they return home against a Bears team who feels like they're underachieving a bit, because I thought the Bears are going to be a little bit better than they actually are. But 4.5 points, to me, feels like a lot. I do think the Commanders win this game. I just don't know by how much. This is probably a game I'm going to stay away from. But if I had to pick this one, at that spread, I will probably run with the Bears here plus 4.5, because I just don't know what Washington is yet. Jaden is back, but I mean, did he shake the rust off against the Chargers? Because the Chargers didn't look all that great last week. I just don't know what either of these teams are. I don't. And for that, I would have to say Bears plus 4.5. Not going to waste no more time. College Pick Show coming up tomorrow. Okay, got to do some things today, so we ain't going to be able to put that out today. But tomorrow, College Pick Show, get some things going, talk about some things on that. And we can also talk about some things right here. Don't forget to get in them comments, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And please check out all the shorts, man. It's good. They're informative. Some of them are even a little comedic, I try to keep it fun. So, look, with that being said, this is the Iron House Pick Show. I'm Jay Irons, and I'm out.